Hello guys, I'm Super On. Welcome back to the channel and we're back at Auto Shack on the Caddy show car. Now everything is pretty much assembled, but we've got so many different parts of so many different cars, it's time to get them all dialed in. This is a Mk1 Caddy shell. We've got TA Technics 4-link suspension at the back, we've got bags on the front, we've got flipped rose jointed track rods, we've got ball joint extenders, Porsche wheels, Porsche brakes at the front. All of these need to be dialed in. So we're going to get it on the 4-post ramp. I'll start setting up the suspension. We're going to try and get the tracking done as well, if we can get the clamps around the wheels, set up the front camber, get the rear Watts linkage dialed in. So it's time to move over the other side of the workshop, and this time I can drive it around without sitting on a bucket. We've got the Porsche seats in, the Porsche steering wheel, so it is actually ready to drive. We've got the full exhaust system on, so I'll do a little tour around the yard. It is windy as anything, so I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear, but let's get this thing in motion. I'll just let this run up for a bit. It's not run for a few weeks. It's still funny how unsuspecting this car is. Looks just like a Caddy work truck. Until you start looking inside and seeing where all the hard work has gone. It's really coming together. So let's get it up in the air, have a look underneath. As you've seen in previous episodes, we did a full underside restoration on this. Everything is brand new. It's just had its brand new exhaust system made last week. We've got our TA Technics 4-link suspension. Got our rear disc conversion, all the custom braided lines, brand new fuel tank. Got all the surge kit, the lift pump, the main pump. Everything is converted to AN lines. Everything runs down the car nicely. Brake lines down this side. Everything fits in really, really nicely. So you'd never suspect any of this from looking at the outside of the car. At the front, the same. Everything is painted. We've got the Porsche brakes, Porsche wheels, but looking at the outside, you'd never know. So what I'm hoping is with it aired up, we can get our 4-wheel alignment bits on. So let's see. Just put some tape on the ends so they don't scratch the wheel. They do, we are on. Right, let's get the others set up. Let's turn this off first. Remember in the previous episode, we've got our screwdriver key. Honestly, officer, it is legit. All right, let's get the rest of this set up and see where we are. And we are all on. Got the rear flags on as well. We're a little bit on the close side, so I've just put a cable tie around it, pulling it in to make sure it sits there flush. Let's turn these on, see where we're sitting. Well, you can see there's 2 lines on there, which is not a good sign. At the minute, it's just bolted together as it came out of the packets. So now it's time to get it dialed in. Got the Porsche wheel all set up level. See what it says. The last car I'd done on this was that Audi RS5, which had 20-inch wheels. So I've had to scale these right back down again to their smallest setting to fit these little 15s on. And it's only just clearing the ramp. Usually I put it on the turn plates, but I can't get the ramp underneath. So we'll see how it goes on the floor for now. Under here, you can see everything is brand new. We've got our ball joint extenders. We've got our rose jointed flip track rods. You can see all the brand new big brakes in there. We also converted this to a track rod each end. As factory, they just have one and you adjust the steering wheel. So we have got matching both sides. The bags are also height adjustable up there. So I want to play with that to get our optimum travel. Then we can also work out our wheelbase and everything with the rear bags. So by extending the top and the bottom, we can move the wheel forwards and backwards, and we can actually twist it as well. And that will determine how much travel we start with on our bag, because we can twist this bottom plate down and up, because there's no point having it all the way up and then we only get that much of travel before it bottoms out on the car. We've got it just towing in that side, just towing in that side, and we're even on the back. We've got 12 and 12. So this will give us a good starting point to work out where our wheels are going to be. When we play about with the air suspension, we'll have to do this again, but at least now we know we're in about the right place. Camber, I don't know if you can see the bubble, is on 0, so we haven't got any camber at the moment. So considering that, we are tucking really nice. We don't want it to run a lot of camber, because then you won't have any grip, but we can put a little bit more on that. We've got fully adjustable top mounts. See what the other side is saying, and that is the same. So we're actually on positive camber this side. So this wheel is sticking out at the top, which does make sense, because if you look at that one, that's further out. That one is further in. So let's dial the camber in, get everything checked out, and then start lowering it down. So I've just whipped the wheel off. When I fitted these rose jointed track rods, I had to cut the drumstick down a bit, because these have got the adjustment in here, but they are bottoming out still, so I've got to cut a little bit more off there. I wasn't sure how much to cut off, so it's better to cut too little than too much. So I'll just probably take 4 threads off there, I think, and then I'll be able to get the adjustment that I need. Right, that should give us what we need, because you get double the movement, because when this winds in and out, that moves both of them. All back together, get this wheel and wheel alignment back on. Right, bringing those in, I've wound it all in, and we are so far towing out now. You can see the 2 lines are nowhere near each other. In fact, the lines on the wall doesn't even make that. So let's get these adjusted up and get ourselves back in line. And a bit of adjustment later, and we are all spot on. So I've just looked it up, and Mk1s just want to be a little bit toe out. So we've got that identical both sides. Our red lines are overlapping. And at the back, we're on 10 and 10. So that means we're parallel. We've got half a degree of camber. So we can go a little bit more if we want to get stancy. But now we are fully tracked up. I couldn't get the turntables out because they only go to here. And I couldn't drive the car on far enough because it bottoms out on the ramps. So we've got these little cups that came with this wheel alignment. And that just makes it so much easier. When you're under, you can literally move it with your hands, and that takes all the friction of the wheel out. So we're all straight, we're aligned, our camber's all even. So let's take all this stuff off and air it out on the ramp and see how everything looks under here. Right, let's drop it like it's hot. Now we are down. The thing that is stopping us here is it's hitting the arches. So we could cut the arches out, we could dial in a little bit more camber. Underneath everything is happy because of those ball joint razors. You can see the angle of the lower arms isn't extreme at all. And the same with the track rods. That's all pretty steady. And at the back, the Watts linkage is all the way down. Bags are all the way deflated. But the thing that is stopping us is hitting on the arch. But with these wheels, there's not really a lot we can do. Let's give it another calibration up there. So the last thing we've got to do to get this MOT ready is to do with the rear lights. I've took off the ugly fog light that hangs down underneath, and we'll put a red bulb in the reverse light. So we've got a reverse light this side, and then this is now glowing red for a fog light. Next up, we've got to put number plate lights on. We've got the standard Caddy ones that were there and there, but it's got a rear roll pan to go on. So as standard, the Caddies have this big kind of recess and overhang on the back. So what companies do is they've pressed a nice sheet so that sits under there like that, and it does fit really nice. That follows the line of this here, follows the line of the boot, and makes the rear end look a lot better. You can get one's completely flushed, this one's got the number plate cutout, but it goes over where the number plate lights are. So I'm not sure what you're supposed to do for number plate lights, whether you put flushed ones in there, because you can't fit the number plate lights in the standard place, so we've got to work that out before we fit this roll pan on. But as you can see, it just makes it look a lot tidier and a lot more finished. There's some little triangles that weld in there as well, so that finishes that off, and it just makes it look a lot more finished rear end. These are the little triangle closing panels, and they fit in there really, really nice. As you can see, they're all pressed out to have no gap. That just adds a little strength in there. I have just found some old Audi TT number plate lights. So I wonder whether I can cut a hole in there. Might be a bit tight in there, but at least that'll be recessed in like a normal car, have them recessed in to that bit maybe. I'll do a little bit of research on that. The other thing, we fitted that Raceline battery under the seat in there, and I wasn't too sure how good it was going to be. But we've been air riding up and down, the ignition's still on now, and it just keeps on going. Not even phased. Fast forward, and we're back on the super on ramp. I was waiting for some new lights to come in. We've got these LED, like Mk1 Golf, Touran, Caddy, but they are nice and slim, so I think these are going to work a lot better in there. Got a lot of clearance on the top, so if I cut a hole in it, then the number plate will go below. Being a Golf owner myself, you can see how far apart these are. Outside to outside, 34 centimetres. So I've marked them out the same as the Golf, a little chop, and they fit in there nicely. So I'll do the same on this side and offer it up on the car. There it is on, looking much better. Really finishes off the rear end, hasn't got that ugly step anymore. It did come with these little filling plates which slot in there. Now I've seen on others it comes with 4 of these because there is a gap at the end. So I think I might copy these, make a couple for the ends as well, just so you don't get that gap showing. That'll be a nice finished end on there. And then there were 4. So that will just sit on the end there like that and just finish that off nice. Then ones will fit in there to close that off. I'll weld these on. And I'll weld it on and we can grind these flat. And there it is, all finished off, looking like a factory panel. So I've cleaned it all up, we'll give it a good prime, try it on the car. And that looks loads better. So now the ends are capped off, you haven't got that ugly little sheet there around the number plate, all flushed off. It's ready to go on. What I think I'm going to do, because it still needs the body work done and it's going to get a restoration, this will come off again so they can sort all that out. So I think I'll just either screw it or rivet it on for the minute. I just wanted to make sure that we got our number plate lights in for the MOT. Drilled some holes there for the wires to come through. We've got the old wires here ready. So let's attach this and try and get it all wired up. The only thing with these lights is they've got little contacts on the end because they're supposed to slot into a socket which has the terminals built in, so they're not actually ever plugged in. So what I've done, just soldered a couple of wires onto those tabs and that will allow us to connect up to them. So I'll get both of them done, get some terminals on and then connect up to the car. So underneath I've extended the standard number plate light wires that used to go to the number plate there. They now go through nice little grommet both sides and come out to our number plate lights. So they'll go up there. But I found a little bit of a problem. I've got all this fitted nicely, all lined up nicely, everything is square, but our tailgate is bent, which means it's really dished in like that, which means it's hitting here as you open it because it's out like that. I was a bit concerned on the tailgate anyway, because this hinge is knackered. So I don't think I'm going to weld this on at the moment. I've got it screwed in at the top and it is well on there. But until we get this tailgate sorted out, I don't think I'm going to weld this in. But it's all nice, it's got the edges, all the seams look good. So let's test these number plate lights. We have light. Right, I'll pop these in. And back on the floor, and it's almost like we've got some underglow neons now. They are super bright. So that's that on. So you can kind of see where the tailgate bows out compared to the shelf, which is why it's catching it. So we're going to have a look at that, whether it's a new tailgate or it can be straightened. But happy with that. So likewise, we are all road legal. Next up, we've got our Speedo cable from rectification. Because we've got the O2A gearbox, the original Speedo cable end is different. So we needed a screw-on type. So let's see if we can thread this one through and get that in a dash. It does seem a bit short compared to the old one. Let's see. Oh, that's just deceiving. That fits a treat. All the grommets go in nice. Goes down to the box. And I just popped out the under tray. And there it is, going into the clocks. So I'll get it up on the ramp in a minute and test the Speedo out. But while we're in here, the customer dropped off the little fan switch we were missing. It goes in there. So I'll pop this trims back off and get that in. Just slots in like that. This clips back in. And the knob goes in. So let's see. With our screwdriver, well, we have heaters. Great success. Right, get the sticks back in and that'll be the dash complete. And all back together. Some eagle-eyed viewer did notice we've got a rear heated screen switch in. And obviously we're in a Caddy. But that is just to fill a hole. When the GTI dash came, that had the blank. But the blank out the Caddy one has got a hole drilled in it. One was for a switch and the other for a old alarm light. So I've just got that in there, fill in the hole. We'll try and get another blank for that. But that is the dash all back in. So let's put it up on the ramp and test this Speedo. Alright, let's check this Speedo. Illumination works, does. Success. Next we've got the rattle shields for the Porsche brakes. They never came with them when we got the new calipers. So we'll stick these in and in. So that's better. So I'd like to get this on the rollers now to see what the brakes are actually doing and adjust the rear bias. 0% side to side, you can't get better than that. That'll do nicely. And we have got the seat belts back as well. These had to go off because remember, they had the wrong latches on, so they didn't fit into the catches on the seats. So what we had the end unstitched, them all slid off. Had the original Caddy ones put on, then all stitched back up. And the old original Caddy ones had some real grotty ends on, so they even supplied with some brand new shiny ones. So these look much better, and that is done by FDTS Limited. And this is what they do. Seat belts, cargo towing straps, webbing products, all looking good. Get their sticker on as well. Another one for the collection. And I found a couple more stickers to stick on. So we've got the air compressor sticker and the bag sticker. So we're getting quite a collection. And there they are, all in. With a little bit of mod, managed to get the caps fitting on there as well. That's all on. Got our new Caddy catches on. They look good. And more importantly, they click in. Another tick for the MOT. And I've just moved it over so we can have a full look all the way round and check it out. I am so happy with how this car has come out, how it sits. Now we've got the matching rear arches on as well. Got the rear roll pan on, all nicely finished with the bed cover. And of course the interior. We have finished this off nicely. Every time I look around, it reminds me of an episode we've been doing, how much time and effort we put into getting the steering geometry right, getting the massive Porsche brakes, fitting in behind those Porsche wheels, all the little Porsche bits here and there. This just looks amazing. And something else you might have noticed in here now, we are lit up. Since we moved premises, this has always been a dull and gloomy workshop. The previous owners went for years and years on a couple of old fluorescent tubes. When you were working on a car in a corner, you had to have a torch. We've just had the whole lot redone in LEDs, and it is like daylight in here. It's made filming very difficult in the past. I've had to have torches set up even in the middle of the workshop. But now we can see. So I think we are almost here now. We've got all the suspension set up, we've got the seat belts in, all the last few finishing touches to get it MOT ready. We are fully MOT compliant. I've just fitted some new wipers. We have windscreen wiper squirters. We have a horn. We have all the lights all the way round. I think I've got everything ticked off. The only thing we're having a little bit of an intermittent problem is the rear light. So any Caddy owners will know what I'm talking about. The bulb holders in the rear Caddy lights are a known trouble spot. Because of how the bulb holders were put together from the factory, there are two terminals that kind of rub and touch each other. Good when it's brand new, but now 40 years later, they are causing problems. So it's very rare to see a Caddy with a full set of working rear light. The bulb holders are no longer available, obviously. Second-hand sets are going for a fortune, and they're most probably going to be in the same condition as these. So on a good day, we have one-ish side light, one-ish brake light. Indicators are working okay. The fog light that side is a bit troublesome. We've got no reverse this side at all. So because of that, we've got to think outside the box. And I have got an amazing idea. And that involves a 3D printer. These look amazing. The detail is perfect. Even got the little stops, the way you screw it in. So make sure you tune into the next episode because we are going to fully redo the rear bulb holders, and this discovery could be a game changer for many Caddy owners. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Make sure you give it a like and definitely be sure to tune in next time. If this is your first time finding the build, all the progress we've done to get to this point is in a full playlist so you can catch up ready for the next episode, where we are going to get very innovative on these rear lights. Also, to show your support for the channel, we have a full Caddy Crew merch, where we've got stickers, hoodies, t-shirts, to show that you are part of the Super Ron crew. Be sure to tune in to the next episode, but until then, make sure you have fun.